Drama. I think we all know the definition of drama, but this isn't the good one. Drama is something that we all kind of get our little source of entertainment from. It's actually quite entertaining to see drama happening within the community, especially that is the number one reason why we go to drama channels such as Drama Alert as well as Scares, at least the two dominating ones on YouTube right now. However, our community is not significant enough to appear on those channels. We aren't relatable. We are a horror community, and we just don't have enough of a voice, an opinion, to be featured on these type of channels. However, within our small community, we have had a lot of drama. I don't like drama. I personally do not stand with it. I don't like to get involved into it. I don't like to start it. Drama just is not my thing. But, however, I will not sit by and let things happen that I feel like there's corruption going on within a certain area. I like to voice my opinion out. However, Twitter has always been my place of ranting. If I had an opinion, I always felt like Twitter was a place to go to place my unpopular opinion on and just have a few likes, and then it'll be the end of it. However, I am opening myself up to a community that I could potentially be getting views on. Like, I don't understand how the algorithm of YouTube works. When I posted that video of me quitting Friday the 13th, or at least stating that I was, and I never even did, that video blew up. I did not intend for that video to go as far as it did in this community. And it kind of just shows me just how much we like drama. I've came back to the game. I made a statement because I didn't want to come back to the game without making a statement. And seeing the amount of, like, weird comments on my streams, as well as hate comments, just saying like, oh, you were crying about the game not that long ago, this big baby, wow, whatever happened to you quitting? Yeah. With these comments appearing in my comment section as well as my streams, it's kind of been demotivating to me to at least go back to YouTube again and happily stream Friday the 13th and see the way the community is now, without having to worry about getting criticized for it, which is only right that I do. I can handle criticism. However, when it comes to the point from constructive to destructive, then it just kind of hurts me at this point. I don't really take anything into consideration. I was wrong. I'm going to admit it here and now. I was wrong about my statement. When I said I was going to quit Friday the 13th and I was done, I was wrong. Simple as that. You know, I make mistakes. I'm a human being. I regret making that bold statement I did not follow through with at all. I still stand by my statement when I said I do not like the community. I didn't at the time. I was not lying when I made that video. Nothing was a lie. It's just a matter of me following through. And I did not do that. And I'm sorry for that. I really am. When I made that video, I had a few content creators in mind when I made that video. I did not see a lot of support, a lot of motivation. I didn't see them sending their love back to the community that brought them there in the first place, as well as the developers. And I did not want to stand by and let this happen. And then I met somebody down the line named Legendary Gamers. This guy has had a huge impact on my YouTube life. I kind of brought up the idea. I was like, hey, I made this video because I had a few content creators at mind that I felt like were not showing their support to this community and were driving it to the ground. And one of the main people I had in my mind was 𝓚𝓮𝓸𝓹. This is a very, very in-depth situation. I did not like 𝓚𝓮𝓸𝓹 at the time. However, it didn't mean I didn't like their content. Their content is great. They provide weekly podcasts. They add a lot to the discussion, and they stand as a huge part of this horror community, as well as the Friday the 13th community. And when that game launched, their channel blew up. I watched them go from the bottom to the top, and that was awesome. I was very supportive, as well as backlinks. I saw his channel completely explode. It was awesome seeing these new content creators' channels growing. It was just, they kind of took the trophy and held it to themselves. They didn't put it up for display like, hey, you know, this is me. This is where I came from. Here's how I could help you. It was kind of like what I felt like. It's just them holding their ego like, hey, I reached the top. Now I'm here. That's it. I'm not going to really show my support to this community. And that's the way I looked at 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓷. Legendary Gamers and I have been discussing about this topic for quite a while. We've been back and forth in the DMs. We have been in video calls as well as voice calls. We shared our opinions and thoughts on this whole situation. And he brought up a lot of good points as well as allegations. And these allegations were very interesting because I was completely unaware of the banning situation on Friday the 13th. And there was a lot of discussion going around about 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓷 potentially abusing their power with the connection on the developers. I was like, okay, I didn't know that things were this shady. Like, of course, I didn't like them at the time, but it doesn't mean I was biased towards the situation. I wasn't quick to make the video like, hey, this is going on. I needed proof. So I was like, okay, I need to know if these allegations are true. And one circumstance that happened apparently or allegedly happened in a stream was that there was somebody going around in a car running over other counselors. 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓷 got mad, sent in a report, and then all of a sudden all those players were banned. And I was like, okay, this seems a little absurd. I need proof. And he's like, all right, well, I'll send you an entire list of their streams. I was like, wait a minute. I thought they deleted their streams right after. Nope. They unlisted their streams. I was like, all right, send me everything you can. And he rightfully did. He sent me maybe about 40 streams, 50, something more. I've been doing so much research, watching all these streams, picking up as much evidence as I can to prove either this was true or not. Rather than me like trying to shut 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓷 down, that wasn't my goal. I wanted to get the answer. I wanted to get the truth out there. And the real punch in the gut was when I saw this clip.
You know, right, well, I'm dead green. Time to back out. See ya. Don't slip.
Just an FYI, it's not nice, the one perk to having /and in your name is people get banned when you report them. Also, usually Daniel's here.
Well, I'm always recording too, so
yeah, exactly.
Like I always provide proof.
Yeah, I wasn't happy either. When I saw this, I was quite shocked. I could not believe Nick said what he just said. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think at that very moment. I was like, are you serious? Is that how much of an ego they really grew on their channel? That they really have to shove their weight around and kind of bully people and police the game? I was in kind of Terminator mode. I've been looking through the streams. All of them. I have had timestamps in certain parts of the streams and put it into a Google Docs and had an entire script explaining that situation, the scenario, on how these guys are shoving their weight around on YouTube as well as the game. I've pointed this out to a few friends such as KmPlaysGames. I was sending him this information. I was like, hey, can I get your thoughts and opinions on this? Am I the only person that's feeling this way? Like, I need to know from you, as well as a few other friends of mine. And they were reaching out to their audiences and showing them these clips from their streams. And their reactions were quite mixed. Well, mostly negative towards /and. And I was like, okay, well, we're all on the same page here. Like, what's going on? Are these guys really having shady connections with the developers? I need more information. And then it wasn't until recently. Let me check. 2 days ago, roughly 2 days ago, I got a major punch in the face. Or at least that's the way I felt, because some of these people were actually calling /and out, or at least tweeting at them asking what was going on. And they completely privated all and deleted some of their streams. This just was a huge red flag to me at the time. It was like there was no communication whatsoever. They did it silently. I was like, okay, what do they have to hide here? I was looking through those streams. I was watching and trying to dig up information. I was looking for answers, and they took that away from me. They took away my proof, my points. It was all just down the drain. I wish I clipped those moments, but it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter, because I tweeted at them saying this. Hey /cast, mind if I ask? What you hiding in these lovely streams? I had them all nicely neat, full of interesting stuff I think everyone should see. Is there something you really don't want the world to know? Especially you, Nick? Only one person can know. So as you could tell, I was a bit upset. I was upset about this situation. So I thought the only way I could actually counteract it was to go to /cast themselves. And this was the number one mistake I made. Why didn't I do it in the first place? I should have done this in the first place. If these allegations are going around about the content creators themselves are the leaders of our community, I should have reached out to them. And I didn't do that. And I'm going to sit here and apologize to Nick as well as Riley for not making this step sooner than I should have. So again, I'm just glad that I actually did, but I'm going to say I should have done this sooner. I made this tweet not expecting much to come from it at all. I really did. Again, it's just kind of like I set these things out there and they go beyond my expectations. And here it was once again, because /cast actually replied. They replied, which was an absolute shock to me. I thought his channel, as big as theirs, they would be the least likely to respond out of there. But they actually did. And this is what they had to say. Want to talk? Just ask. We are more mature than that. Of course, the first thing that came to my mind was
the one perk to having /cast in your name. People get banned when you report them.
But jokes aside, I should have been more mature than that. I really should have. I should have handled this situation much more seriously rather than just calling them out right away. I should have approached them like, hey, why did you delete the streams? I need to know answers because there's a lot of allegations going around. Again, this is my fault at this part. I should have approached you guys more professionally than this. So we kind of just went back and forth between the tweets and we discussed. They wanted to talk. And that was extremely awesome of them to give me this opportunity to actually talk. Because not a lot of huge YouTubers would be willing to address the criticism that is thrown their way. Instead, they just blatantly ignore it. I'm just really glad to see that was not the case here. And they decided to approach this situation head on with somebody as unrelatable as me. You know, with somebody that has 1,000 subscribers versus them, they have like 40-something thousand. They could literally just completely overshadow the situation and just let it blow over and just let this die out. But instead, they wanted to clear things up with a community as small as mine. And I'm just really glad that they did. You guys did the right thing. And I'm going to sit here and address some of the points and concerns that this community has brought up. Fuck! I just realized I was discussing some of my points for about 20 minutes. I didn't even hit the record button. From the ground up. I don't even remember why I started off on this clip. Okay, bear with me. I brought up the main point of them having unfair connections with the developers, and I said this. I believe that there is a lot of miscommunication going on here between the developers and the community. People within my servers and streams believe that the developers praise you and your content, which gets into my next major concern that a lot of people have with the developers. There was a time where you received exclusive news about an upcoming DLC for Part 4 Jason when you revealed Jason's weapon. Some would say that this is a game of preferential treatment. I never went with the claim fully, because there simply really is not enough occurrences such as this one to prove that anything is happening. Have you been receiving early access to upcoming content by any chance? Now, if you guys actually don't know about this whole situation with them actually receiving exclusive news about an upcoming Jason DLC, here's a clip now.
We got the honor because of Wes Kellner revealing what his weapon would be, which was the pig splitter weapon.
Now, this clip didn't really spark too much discussion in the comments section. Actually, not at all. But it has within my servers and my community streams. And it's just like, how much insight are these people getting? And you can't really blame us feeling this way. Because here's the problem, right? Our content creator community is small. We have barely anybody covering this game as of late. There's actually maybe 50 people who even cover this game at all on YouTube that actually have a following. The rest of the people are just casual streamers that don't really have a following whatsoever and that really don't provide content. But that's my rough estimate. There's about 50 people. Not all of them really deserve to be here, but that's just an opinion. But I still support the community that we have because they are the people that keep us alive. And that is the main issue. If they are killing off competition by providing /Cast with exclusive content, sending it over through the DMs, whatever, that was the big concern. That was the question. Like, how much are they receiving? Is this the only time? Are the developers like, hey, we got this DLC coming up, the Jarvis House. Be sure to cover it right away. We'll give you all the information, patch details before we even discuss about it publicly. But you'll be the first to cover this content. Bye-bye! What? Like, of course, that's a huge red flag. But again, that's an assumption. It's just a question. It's an allegation. And should be taken with a grain of salt. And that was the thing I was trying to prove here. Like, hey, is this happening? And this is what Riley had to say. We have not received early access to content. Despite how hard we tried, LOL, I would absolutely love for that to be a thing, along with other content creators, as the game would have way less bugs upon launch. The only early access we gotten was back during playtesting and early access, which was with hundreds of others. You may not remember, but a few other content creators were given exclusives, especially 𝓚𝓵𝓮𝓸𝓵. He got a ton of stuff before the game came out, but now he really doesn't even play anymore. I can't deny that we are closer with Gun now than we used to be, but that simply comes from us being one of the last content creators left from the early access team. That being said, us knowing them better has not led to any real benefits. We have been featured on the site lately, but that simply comes from not having much other content to put out there. Most content creators that still cover the game had just jumped onto the leaks, which Gun will never ever support. That's exactly why we avoided them as much as possible. Those leaks hurt the game and would hurt our reputation as content creators for future games if we were to cover them. In all seriousness, which is why I'm glad someone like you finally had the guts to reach out to us. Most of the beef surrounding us and others come from straight up assumptions. And I feel like I'm guilty in a sense too, because I assumed that this was going on, but I wasn't quick to jump on that case. I needed proof, I needed evidence, which was why I called you guys out on Twitter in the first place, because I felt like you guys were taking that away from me. But that actually was the complete opposite here, and I'm just so glad that we actually discussed. So again, huge thank you to Riley for actually clearing this up, and it's actually quite evident here. I gotta be honest, there still isn't proof here, but I believe him. I actually genuinely believe what Riley is saying in these DMs is actually 100% true. These content creators, these people really ruin the game. I believe that there's a handful of creators that actually ruin the community for us. And I don't support leaks either. I don't support it. I don't encourage people to hack the game either. It has happened in my streams where Fluffy was in the game hacking, but I didn't want to be a buzzkill. I didn't want to be like, hey, I can't have you. We were both streaming at the time, and I hate to do that. I hate to be a buzzkill. And again, I stated on my stream, I don't support hacking the game whatsoever, nor do I support leak content. As a matter of fact, I might actually take my stream down where it was showcasing some of 𝓼𝓵𝓉's kills, because I don't want to spoil the surprise for anybody. As cool as it was to see that, it is unfortunate to see these leaks actually happen in the first place. Unintentional, but it was a leak, and I don't support it. I don't support leaks at all. And I believe that Gun Media has made a huge mistake here for actually putting the files of 𝓼𝓵𝓉 into this patch and having people uncover it on YouTube. It's bad. It's a huge mess. And leaks are just an absolute buzzkill for the update, and it actually kills off a lot of hype, because what's the point of seeing everything in the potato state? When it's finally here and it's like finished, it's like, oh, we already had a vision for this. Next update, And I understand 𝓚𝓮𝓸's choice here. I really do. And that's why they have been lacking the support in the community. Because what community is there to support? Because we have a bunch of content leakers and people discussing about leaked content, and that's bad. It's bad. It ruins our game. They aren't helping by discussing it. It's killing it. And I don't want this to happen anymore. And I'm going to bring up one of the content creators that I believe should be called out in this video, and that's 𝓼𝓮𝓸𝓹. Yes, I am. I am calling you out. And I believe you are by far one of the most scummy YouTubers on this platform. You have stolen content. You have taken content from other content creators. Well, not really creators, but potentially content leakers. And you are doing what they have done was wrong and added it to your content and gained much bigger profits than they ever could have. And I think that was absolutely scummy of you. You didn't even have the audacity to state who uploaded those videos. You're like, hey, somebody uploaded this content. Who? You don't have the second to take the words out of your mouth with the name of these people who decided to go through the hard time and effort to leak this content, even though I'm highly against it. You shouldn't be stealing content. It's wrong. You shouldn't steal leaked content in the first place. You should stay away from leaked content and then put it onto your platform where you don't even indicate that there even is credit in your description or anything at all. These people got nothing from you, but you got everything from them. And I called you out in your comment section. You didn't even respond. And that is why I disrespect you, 𝓼𝓮𝓸𝓹. And that is why I respect 𝓚𝓮𝓸, because when they are criticized by somebody as small as me, as irrelevant as me, my voice matters. And that is what really gained my respect. I shouldn't have a certain number to my tag to get a response from you. You should have done the right thing here. You should have stated their names in their video. You should have properly credited them. You should have put the names of their channels next to those links that you pasted into your description way at the bottom. You literally took the time to press enter to hide it way down there. And then we had to call you out. You made it the choice to actually somewhat properly credit them by saying links to original videos. Still hid the links down there by pressing that enter button just a few more times. Not nearly as much. Absolutely scummy. And I think you do not deserve to be up here in the community with us. Disgusting content creator. Disgusting. I can't believe this. These are the type of people that run our community. And I'm so glad that 𝓚𝓮𝓸 is not the case here. Let's play a game of Find the Credit.
𝓼𝓮𝓸𝓹, man. He fucking straight up jacks my fucking video without proper permission, nothing, without proper credit. This video you guys might have saw on my channel, the Uber kills unmasked. Well, what do you call it? That video was an hour of recording. I think I had about an hour and a half of footage in there. I had to cut that down to 3 minutes. He just goes ahead and jacks it like it's nothing. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna credit you. Literally, I'm just gonna jack your fucking footage. This straight up took me 4 hours to edit this video. And this guy just goes, fucking steals it from me. No fucking credit, nothing. Just a shitty link in his description, hidden way down there. Nothing in the fucking comment section like, thank you for letting me use your footage or blah 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 or any of that shit. But like, what the fuck? Like, that was straight up bullshit.
But again, there's a bunch of other examples of this happening. And again, I don't support leaked content. I don't believe that people should hop on that conversation right away. Leaked content does ruin a game, and it ruins the hype. It kills off everything that could pretty much bring the audience back to the game in the first place, because it just, if anything, it just kills off a lot of discussion, like speculation, like, oh, I wonder what Jason X kills will be. Well, you could just look it up and find it out before the update even releases. Very fun. No, it's not. And I'm not going to sit here and call out every single content creator that does it, but, you know, this is kind of like a message to them. Like, if you want Gun Media to support you in some way, if you want /Cast to support you, don't leak content. Don't support it. Don't make any videos about it. You don't have to do that to gain a certain amount of views. Even though it does, what's the point? Don't ruin it for other people. Be yourself. Be yourself. Provide content of the game, and you'll eventually grow a following. You don't have to hack the game. You don't have to discuss footage of people hacking the game, because that makes you just as bad. It really does. Now again, I'm going to come back to the point where I feel like Gun Media should support the community that currently stands on this game right now, especially on YouTube. I think Friday the 13th doesn't really have any content creators on Twitch. As far as I know, I don't think there's any streamers on there, or at least not very many that have a huge following on Friday the 13th. If there is, I don't know if that's the case, but I am talking about YouTube in specific. I don't have any connections on Twitch whatsoever, at least at this moment. I don't know who's on there, so if you're not hearing this video or think you should be known by me, I don't know who you are on Twitch. But this is what /Cast also had to say about the lack of support that Gun Media has been showing to smaller channels. The one thing that drives me nuts about Gun Media and that website is the lack of promoting smaller channels. Like, why is Typical Gamer on there? I think he'll be okay. Delirious? I love him, but still, he doesn't need the exposure. At least with us. And although larger than some, we are still considered a small channel. I was happy when they gave 𝓼𝓮𝓸𝓷 Content Creator of the Week. That dude genuinely deserves it. Hopefully they start promoting smaller channels more soon. Trust me, I know how hard it is to get discovered. Thankfully, when the game came at a perfect time, a year ago from today, we had less than 8,000 subscribers. And you know, I think that's awesome. I really do. I'm proud of /Cast. I've seen them grow where they are at today. Even though I didn't fully support them and their channel at the time, but I have been watching them for quite a while, and I believe that their content is super great. These people deserve to lead our community. Even though I didn't believe it before, I believe it now. After discussing this and sharing mutual thoughts and just kind of sitting here discussing about Gun Media and this whole situation with the content creator community right now, it's perfect. This is perfect. I wish this was discussed a little bit more. I wish this was addressed a little sooner. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be happy on stream like, I'm having a great time on the game. Yippee, 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 yay. You know, I love getting harassed by the players on the game as well as not receiving any support from the developers at all. Wow, feeling motivated to continue. No, I'm not going to sit there. If I feel like something should be discussed, I'm going to do the research on the topic and prove every single point. And, you know, I believe Gun Media should be criticized for this. Gun Media should support the content creators. They really should. And I'm just glad that we share mutual feelings, me and Riley. I'm not sure about Nick. I have yet to discuss with him. And I do want to say I'm sorry, Nick. I hope to get in touch with him very soon about this as well. And share some thoughts with him. Because I think Nick is also a great man. Well, as me and Riley were discussing in the DMs, we kind of got back on topic with how the content creators aren't very supportive with the community, but we were also talking about the player base of the community as well. And this is what I had to say to Riley. 𝓼𝓮𝓸𝓷 really earned that spot, and I did congratulate him the day I found out that they switched the content creator of the week. I really like him and his content. I really hope to see more channels on there as well. Even if it isn't me, I would love to see the connection between the community and the developers again. They have been so distant with us on all platforms. We are lucky to even get a reply from them nowadays. It wasn't like that at first, and I know, and now it is. That is why I'm really getting on this subject. And honestly, you guys were my target. From me making my videos up to my tweets, I was basing it off you. The reason why is because you guys represent the community. If you look up Friday the 13th, the game on YouTube, you come up. You've been doing a good job at it, and I still applaud you and all the members of 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓹 for staying on this game and not leaving it. The community is dying, and you keep it alive. I just wish there was more support, even from you guys. There is so much tension and drama here, and that is why I even made the video why I quit playing Friday the 13th. In the first place, even though I didn't follow up through my statement on quitting, I think I gave a good reason as to why someone would quit Friday the 13th in the first place. The game is great, but the community is hostile. I want to help change that. I really do. I love this game too much to let the community ruin it. And this is what Riley had to say. I actually legitimately agree. The community is very hostile and toxic, but I think it's clear that we are unbelievably passionate about this game. I mean this wholeheartedly, and not people have heard this. Friday the 13th saved my life. It came during a peak depression state, and while I don't dive into any of that, I don't know if I'd be here without the game and the community surrounding us on YouTube. My biggest issues come from Illfonic. They simply weren't ready for a game of such caliber, and Gun has been stuck trying to communicate those issues coming from development, but are often just stuck in... I don't even know how to say that. I wish they'd communicate more as well, and you probably don't remember, but we absolutely called them out really bad about that shit a while back. The unbelievably toxic response that came during launch and updates, since often due to weak playtesting and huge bugs, is why they went silent for so long. The death threats, DDoS, and doxing is just nuts. I feel that side of the story too. Now, I was actually quite surprised about this statement. I did not know that Gun Media was receiving this type of hate at the time. I'm not sure if they still are now, but death threats, DDoSing, doxing, are you serious? Is that the community of this game? I was not aware of how toxic this community was in the first place. I mean, sure, when you enter a game, you have your assholes nearly every match, but really, the people that actually supported the game financially and as well as go through Twitter and support them that way, just come and destroy the developers' will to even do better in the game by just destroying them? Attacking them? That's unbelievable. I cannot believe I even heard this from Riley. I was completely unaware of this. And it just comes to show how shitty this community is on Friday the 13th. I mean, I'm glad to see us happy again, but really, I don't blame why people would leave in the first place. I mean, I was gone for about a week and I came back, but I really had no intentions of doing so at the time of making my video. But seeing this has really disgusted me. And if you're one of those people who actually did that to these developers, do something else with your life. If you're not happy with the game, you shouldn't attack the developers. Instead, move on. Play a different game. Nobody has to deal with your shit. Alright, so that about really concludes the video here as far as my little rant on the support of the developers and the community goes. And I'm really glad I sat down and talked with 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓹 because this video has taken so many directions. You know, at first when I made this video, I was like, okay, we need to expose some of this shadiness that has been going on between the developers and 𝓟𝓮𝓸𝓹. But again, I didn't have proof at the time, and I was not going to make the video without the proof, or at least hearing the other side of the story. Although I did it a lot later than I should have, I still did it, and I'm so glad I did, because if it wasn't for that, it would have started a lot more unnecessary drama. I would have had my facts wrong. And again, I am so glad that Riley even gave me the chance to hear his side of the story, because this definitely has prevented something huge, and that would have been a huge mess for all of us, and a lot of unnecessary talk and discussion about them, and it would have made them look a lot worse than they really are. And I'm just so glad that they cleared their names for me, because honestly, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, they didn't have to talk to me, and I'm so grateful that they did. And Riley, I support you. Nick, I support you too. Even though after what you said, when Riley came and spoke for you, absolutely awesome man he is. You know, if you could give that man a hug for me, that'd be much appreciated, because I do support both of you and your channel. I support you guys financially. I am a sponsor of your channel, and I'm really glad that I am affiliated in some way, shape, or form, and I can help you guys shape the future of your content by giving you guys my feedback and support as well as input. I'm just glad that we can sit here and support each other on this situation, because again, the community is dying. That is without a doubt, but it's still alive. It's dying. I don't want to see this game go away anytime soon. I mean, as with every game, it is eventually going to die, but Friday the 13th has had a short life, and you know, I don't want that to be the case. I don't want this game to die too soon. Again, with this engine upgrade, it has so much potential. I just wish the developers would take us a little more serious, and again, this is the correct step into doing so, and I hope we can shape this game for the better, guys. I really do. And the community too. The salt mines, to the updates, to the content, to everything. We need to come together as a community and really show your support for each other, because without our support, without us just coming together and just being there for each other, it's going to divide us and just create a lot of tension, competition that just isn't even necessary. You know, I don't want that to be a thing anymore on this game. I want to be able to stream and see some people that I can be familiar with that also create content on this game, and I can also go to them and show my support to them. You know, share an audience. Like, that isn't something we see on this game. Our community is far too small to not see this happening. It's too small. There's no reason to be leaking content. There's no reason to be hopping on those bandwagons, because what the hell? You know, you're killing the game by encouraging this. You're encouraging leaked content, and you're not helping at all. And /Cast even stated that as well. It's not helping the game. It's killing it. And I just hope you guys can take this with some seriousness and change your minds. Maybe even remove the videos of you talking about that leaked content. Not that it's completely wrong, but you are contributing towards the death of this game by discussing such things. I just hope you guys know that. And again, developers, connect with your community, connect with us, know who we are, know who you want to support, because not seeing that from you guys is really demotivating to these content creators, because I discussed with a lot of them and they all feel the same way. And just let us I know you're receiving a lot of criticism right now, as it might be overwhelming with the bugs on the game, but don't forget about us, because we are trying our best to keep your game alive by taking the time and effort out of our day to even cover the game in the first place. But we could be hopping on the trend wagon and covering Fortnite. But you know what keeps us here? Passion keeps us here. We are passionate about the horror community. We love horror, and you know what better than horror than Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight? You know, these are asymmetrical, replayable games. You know, you can't just do content on Alien Isolation forever. You can't do content on Soma forever. You can't do content on just horror games forever. You know, every horror game has been played. Slender Man, all these games have been played. But Friday the 13th has some replayability, and so does Dead by Daylight. Even though I don't play those games as much, the only thing that's keeping us here is our love for these games. We love these games. You guys did a great job. You know, I don't think you're the worst developers in the world. I never said that. I'll never make you out to be. I just wish I could see more from you guys than just complete silence and egoness, you know, shoving your weight around. You know, you're too important to reply to any of us. You know, we got to go through an email, really go out of our way to even get a reply from you guys. I want to see this bridge built again. Be open with us, be supportive with us, and we'll do the same for you as we had from the beginning, because in the first place, we backed your game. We made this thing. We made this dream happen. And you know, you also have created some dreams come true. You made some dreams come true, such as /Cast, because if it wasn't for your game, they would have blown up in the first place. So I just wanted you guys to know that. I really do. And I hope you guys watch this video, and I hope you guys at least think twice about what you're doing and can do better, because this is my take on it. This is my rant. Again, I'm putting myself out here, and I'm making myself vulnerable to criticism. I want to give a huge thanks to Riley for again opening up this bridge of communication between me and him, because without him, I probably would have had a lot of things wrong. You know, I'm just really glad I talked to the man, even though he deleted the streams and privated them. Well, not him specifically, but somebody in /Cast did. You know, the true story really does come from the person that you are making the video on. And I'm just glad I got both sides of the stories, because these allegations will forever be allegations. I don't think that /Cast would actually abuse their power in any way, even though it's been proven here that they don't have any power to begin with. They just kind of send in reports to Dan. They just kind of have a faster lane than other people. But even then, that's not really a big deal, because it's not like they're pushing the ban button on people. I just want to make sure that was clear. The /Cast is not as shady as some people think, and I hope that this video has changed your minds, and I hope you guys can still support them, even though they still get a lot of support. But there has been some discussion. I'm just glad I can clear it up, or at least I hope I did. So again, thank you so much to them. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, because it does let me know if I'm doing something right. If you guys disagree, let me know why in the comment section. And if you guys have your own input on this, go ahead. I'll be reading every single comment here. Every single comment will be taken with some form of seriousness, because I reply to my comments on these type of videos. I read everything, and I let you know how I feel as well. So again, I will be monitoring the comment section. So if you guys want to say something to me directly, I will be reading it. Again, have you guys yourselves a nice night. I'll be seeing you all later. Thank you so much for watching.